Alright, so you obtained initial foothold on the server, you have some sort of shell going, you don't really know about the user, but you want data at the moment, and you want to establish what we call persistence. Now, I'm going to show the very first one that comes into my mind whenever we exploit the web interface and we do know what it is running. So what we're going to do in this video is to look at how to create a web PHP backdoor. Now, don't mind the language right now. PHP is just one of the biggest languages there is for websites. It's easy to use, easy to show, and easy for you to understand. So I guess it's just a win-win situation. So when we're going to do a web backdoor, what you're usually going to do is to put an extra PHP file in the web root somewhere with a name that doesn't bother anyone too much. Something that you would know, and only you, and something you could reach from the outside. Now, the initial idea here is that we have a website here hosted. It's just some websites from TryHackMe I'm using. Don't mind it too much, but this is a web page. Then we can access it by some weird, folder location that we either create or already exist. I would recommend you not to create anything crazy, because if some admin came in and looked, it would look weird. Let's go to var and then go to and then there is an HTML folder, and inside that folder we're gonna see that there are different kind of other folders and files owned by the user that I am right now. Now, you're probably gonna ask me, but why then haven't you privilege escalated to root? Well, that's not really the point of this video. The point of this video is to create persistence, which basically means that you need to wait to get back in. Now, there is a folder called panel, looks interesting. It's very empty folder, very empty website. Adding another file to such a folder, name something other crazy like that, would probably not be a good idea. So we're gonna play with the thought that we have a lot of different kind of folders and files, and let's just agree that it's gonna be on panel, inside the panel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and touch a file. We're gonna call it backdoor, just to make it easy to detect by the admins. And we can see that now the backdoor is created. We have read-write access to it, since we are the owners and the creators, and of course we're also in the group .data. We are even that user. We're gonna put some code inside of it, and the code we're gonna put inside of that is just some easy peasy small PHP script we can find. Just go and search on Google like PHP backdoor script, whatever, and you're gonna take this, copy paste it, and go ahead and write echo. Let's just mind which they use single quotations and quotations. So that is bad. That is bad. So what we could do, in order to make this easy, because I have not upgraded this shell, I cannot press arrow up and stuff like that, and I can definitely not use nano, because then we're gonna break this shell. So what we can do instead of that is just go to our normal terminal, go in nano and call it backdoor.php, paste it in. Well, the right thing, of course. So let's take this script here, let's just take it all, because then we have something extra. And it would seem fine. Save it. Don't know about that, but let's just leave it. Gonna create a Python 3 web server on port 9000, and we're gonna grab our IP address. So go ahead and type IP and A. That's gonna be the IP address for this machine. Go back here and do wget http, and then do port 9000 / backdoor.php, and we now have it saved. Now, I think because we already had one, yes, let's remove the backdoor.php, and then let's rename backdoor.php1 to backdoor.php. Let's cat it out, and we'll see that the content of the file is what we expect. Let's go back to the web interface now and so we have a way to do panel backdoor.php, and it's just a blank page. So we're gonna read the code one more time, and it says enter a cmd request PHP command parameter that can either be posted or get it, doesn't really matter. Let's go back here and do a question mark cmd equal ls, and now I can execute commands directly. You can execute stuff, you can grab stuff, you can execute a reverse shell, you can do whatever you would like to do. Now you do have a backdoor. So that's really it. It is the way to create a web backdoor, just some way to grab some code. Now, a sneaky thing you could do, assuming that you are on a system with lots of files and so on, you're gonna think about, so if it's a WordPress site, for example, you will notice that a WordPress site does contain a lot of different kind of PHP files that's gonna say the same name, really consistent. Now, which of those files are not overwritten when you update the system? That's gonna be your target file, where you input some code like this. Just some line somewhere crazy hidden somewhere in a big PHP file, something that will not be updated whenever PHP releases a new, WordPress releases a new version. That's going to be your go-to file. So try and think like that. Make it sneaky. Find a file that is not being overwritten when there's a new version. Find a file that's not visited by any administrator often, and find a file that's not accessed by any crazy something. Just, weird file, not touched, put lines code in, and make sure that you can reach the file from the web. Then you have the same kind of backdoor again. So yeah, that's the first video in the series of persistence.